Let the battle against Aegis begin!
Final.
Okay, so Aegis... Okay, so the thing is, she has a lot of projectile weapons and everything, but... And also her main combo can be annoying. And she has a bullet limit, as well. And that can be a little bit to her... Well, that can lead a bit to her, like, downfall, because she can only use, like, her Gatling cannon so many times. But you know what? We're gonna end things in style. You know how? Oh, she blocked my finisher. Dang it. Okay, I was gonna use my astral finish. Not astral finish, but, like, that's what it's called in other stuff. I was gonna use my, like, instant KO move. But, oh well. We're just gonna punch her instead. That sounded bad, but oh well. I just defeated a robot!
Wowza! Now that's the sensei I know! That hunk of junk was no match for you! Serves you right! Keep suffering! Friend against friend, beating the heck out of each other!
But I barely even know Aegis. I literally just met her. Oh well. Machine with the power of a persona. She was made to fight shadows, but I had no idea what she was capable of. I feel like my mind's been drained even more than my body. It angers me to see that the general is watching over us with an expression of joy, as if we were some performers for his amusement. I look up and glare at the monitor.
I don't know why you're making us fight, but it's pointless. We aren't fighting because we hate each other. The reason we can fight is because we respect and trust each other.
A low growl. That's the only sound I hear. The real Teddy's never made such a hateful sound. It's actually rather scary.
You're such a dumbass! What's with you?
The image on the monitor distorts along with that outburst. The general is having trouble remembering to act as someone else. His face bulges and ripples disturbingly as his hate pours through the screen. Any pretense at copying the adorable stupidity of the real Teddy is gone now. I notice that the voice spitting out of these hateful words is not Teddy's either.
Trust? So what if you don't hate each other? You're not like me. I was forced to fight against my will. I destroyed them with my own hands. You should all have to go through the hell I've suffered. See how it feels to destroy everyone you call a friend. If I knew this was gonna happen, I would have made the rules so you had to kill your opponent to move on.
The general on the monitor continues to rage.
What are you talking about? Why did you set this tournament up?
The moment I say that, I feel that all the dots have, become connected. Miss President had asked out of the blue if we were going to be forced to kill each other. That ominous muttering of killing one another. Were these both something that had come directly from her past? Maybe she had been forced to fight against people she didn't want to fight. Had she been forced to destroy something that was precious to her? There's no way to know for sure, but it's possible. Considering this, it kind of explains why her shadow would have created a tournament like this. That is, she wanted us to feel that what she went through might not be entirely correct, but I feel like I'm close to the truth. Should I just ask General Teddy about my suspicions? But as I'm considering raising my voice...
Pardon my eccentric entrance.
What? Someone comes crashing through the ceiling? What the heck? What in the world? I rush over Aegis to protect her from the falling debris. Ah yes, Burn My Dread playing when Elizabeth shows up. Very nice. When I look up, I see a young woman emerge from the cloud of dust. While not as strange as Aegis, she seems a little uncommon as well. But even beside that, why did she have to come through the ceiling? This room has doors! This makes no sense at all. I had been about getting to the heart of the matter with General Teddy. The monitor in this room has been destroyed, along with the ceiling. Though she seems oblivious to my confusion. The girl cocks her head and apologizes again.
Oh, please excuse me. I didn't have the faintest idea that someone would be here.
Faintest?
Fiend? Something along those lines at any rate.
Gosh, I love her. The heck is she talking about? Who in the world is this person? Wait a second. That blue suit she's wearing, it looks familiar. With that silver hair and golden eyes. Could it be?
Are you from the Velvet Room?
My, is this what's known as being hit on?
Dang it.
Forbidden ritual where one human approaches another based solely on appearance and bets on the inner self being equally attractive.
What? No, I'm not hitting on you. You just remind me of someone I know.
Okay, so that actually sounded like I really was hitting on her. No, I need to stop thinking about that. In any case, I need to ask her
Do
something.
you happen to know anyone by the name of Margaret?
Margaret.
When she repeats the name, her face seems surprisingly youthful. I've been taken aback by her bizarre speech and actions. But could this girl be younger than me? Her profile simultaneously evokes the images of pondering philosopher and an innocent girl. I can't figure out how exactly to speak to her. Should I be more polite? I guess it doesn't matter too much. Anyway, worrying about the mysticities isn't the most important thing right now.
Oh, actually, we should introduce ourselves first. I'm Yu Narukami.
Ah, that had slipped my mind also. My name is Elizabeth. Dear me, to hear that name fraught with memories in such a mundane, remote place.
She thinks of this world as a mundane place. That's confusing. Yasuo Inaba may be out in the countryside, but I don't think it's as bad as people say it is. The girl Elizabeth suddenly bows elegantly to me.
Margaret is indeed my sister's name. Can I take that to mean that you are another guest of that room?
I see. So she's Margaret's sister. That would explain why she reminds me of her.
Elizabeth-san, huh? Well, I guess that's the case. It's true that there was a time when I visited that room.
Igor, Margaret, and now Elizabeth. It seems there are more people who call that place home than I thought. I think I'm glad I met Margaret last year instead of this girl.
But why is a resident of the Velvet Room here? Did Margaret send you with a message or something?
I am currently utterly neglecting my duties.
Is that so?
That doesn't really tell me much, and I have no response anyway. So what possessed her to come blasting in through the ceiling instead of using the door? I decide not to bother asking her that. I've met so many different people over the last year, but trying to have a conversation with this girl is like trying to ride a wild horse. She's just going to ignore the direction I'm taking, I'm trying to steer us towards, and just veer off wherever she wants. Best to just hold on and go along for the ride then. If I pay attention, she'll tell me something worth my time. Even if I try to ask her any questions, she'll likely just be confused anyway. Just as I'm having that thought, the girl seems to have noticed my hesitation and starts to talk about herself. Her eyes are lit up with a sincere passion. She really is a hard one to read.
I have a certain desire. It may take a very long time for it to be realized. In order for my wish to be granted, I require a power much greater than what I have. The power of the wild card that changes bonds into strength. I have a feeling that the key lies there.
I know a little about the wild card, but...
I feel that the first glue to granting my wish lies within that power.
Glue?
Flu? Influenza. Something along those lines at any rate.
She's having trouble coming up with the right words, but I can hear the sincerity in her speech. Probably. In other words, I think she means that the power of the wild card is related to her desire that came here. I don't think it's worth it to ask how she knew I had that power, or where she found out about it. Just as I'm struggling to follow the meandering path of her conversation, she brings up an outrageous suggestion.
Might I suggest that you and I fight?
Oh dear. What? Someone please tell me how she reached the conclusion that this was a good idea. I don't think I have a chance of talking her out of it though. But of course, I have to try, so I say.
Oh, how excited this is making me. My expectations are ascending skyward at Mach speed.
Oh dear.
To be direct, I'd like for you to show me the potential slumbering within you.
Let me make sure of something, just in case. You understand what I'm saying, right? There's no illusions at work?
Such parlor tricks can get stuffed.
I I see. So you're actually in your right mind here. That's kind of, impressive.
Well, maybe she understood what I meant when I mentioned illusions. If that's so, then she at least must have some idea of what's going on around here. And, even though she might understand it, she still wants to fight me. I wonder, though, if she's unrelated to General Teddy's plans and invited herself into the tournament, the usual rules apply? As I think about this, Elizabeth's son taps her foot on the ground and takes a fighting posture. She really does want to fight. The huge leather-bound book in her hand opens as if by itself. Torrent of power pours from the open book with a blue light. Can't believe that this strange girl has unimaginable power. She seems so aloof. No, maybe more correct to call it an air of imminent violence.
Alright, I won't be able to hold back.
To be honest, I was really only saying that in hopes of bluffing her. I have absolutely no room to hold back in this fight. I really cast off my fear and focus on the upcoming battle. There's no room for doubt. I need to hit her with my full strength from the start. Even if I were to fight her with the intent of killing her, I'll be lucky not to end up dead myself. At least, that's how I feel. Elizabeth-san calmly begins the fight.
Let us do this. Your fate is in the cards.
Final. Fight!
Okay, so now we're fighting Elizabeth. I'm sorry I forgot to commentate like the opening thing there. My bad. But she's a little bit on the easy side to take down in all honesty. Even though, oh goodness, Thanatos does a lot of damage. You know what? Dang it, I did not mean to use that. I'm not meaning to use that move. Come on. Burst, there we go. I'm getting this in style, you know? Because why not? It's Elizabeth, dang it. And now it's time for the Narukami special. Oh man, I love this.
Well done.
Man, Myriad Truth is amazing. Just when I thought I've managed to throw her off balance, Elizabeth-san gets back up elegantly as if nothing had just happened. Suddenly, I feel an intensity build up in the air. Don't tell me she hadn't been taking this seriously at all up until now. In the next moment, I'm swallowed into a torrent of power like a leaf being blown into the air. Not the slightest understanding of what's happening. Boy, that part was really hard to read. My vision blurs as I've spun around. Well, spun about before I can tell from down. Well, can tell up from down. The floor jumps towards me and I'm slammed into the ground. Am I going to lose? As my consciousness fades, I see the faces of my friends, Naiga-san, all those I had fought against up until now. It's like that story that you see your life flash before your eyes just before you die. Am I dying? Can you really accept that? I'll fight as much as I have to in order to save my friends. I have to keep fighting. I've come so far. I can't lose heart now. I desperately force my legs to move and manage to stand up again. Elizabeth-san shuts her book. Well, with an air of finality.
I see. I am quite content with this outcome. It seems you possess true strength.
The unyielding torrent of power suddenly ceases without warning. Is it over? Even as I come to understand that, I continue to stand stock still, unable to move.
I believed you were at the limits of your stamina after the battle against Igus earlier. In actuality, your heart almost gave in during your struggle with me. But each time you faltered, the many hearts supporting you gave you strength, helping you to rise again.
She cuts herself off and nods to herself, as if to confirm some suspicion.
This was truly an intriguing battle. I believe our encounter has borne much flute.
Flute?
Flu? Chimneys.
What the heck?
Anyways, I am quite pleased.
Even after a battle, she acts like that. I feel like a fool for believing that she really would have killed me. even if it felt quite real at that time. Can't believe any of this. My legs give out under me and I sink to the ground. Maybe she understands how I feel. Elizabeth-san looks straight into my eyes.
May I ask you something? To continue fighting in order to prevent an undesirable future, it is a path of endless hardship. Would you still choose to walk it?
Oh man. Margaret had said something similar just before this tournament had begun. I would overcome the ordeal concerning last year's case and open the door. Margaret and Elizabeth-san's words come together in my mind.
Yeah. Working for a better tomorrow isn't just a one-time thing. The tomorrows keep coming.
Opening the door is necessary, but it's not what's truly important. What's more important is making sure that you follow the path that's beyond the door. But once you have that path in mind, does it matter whether you've opened the door or not? That's how I feel.
I would keep fighting for the future we want.
Elizabeth-san smiles at my answer. It seems the former dweller of the Velvet Room is pleased with my answer. She must have chosen a path of her own at some point, and is doing everything in her power to see it through. Maybe I'm jumping to conclusions, but I feel as if I'm able to understand her a little better now.
Well then, it's time for me to bid you adieu. By your leave, I, Elizabeth, am out of here.
With this, Elizabeth briskly walks out of the room. She caused me some trouble, but I've also learned something about myself as well. I think I'll call it a draw. As I wave goodbye to Elizabeth, Yurika-san getting to her feet behind me.
Are you alright? You shouldn't force yourself to move.
I was concerned at first, but Aga-san doesn't seem to be very hurt or damaged, or whatever you would say. She was likely just knocked out. Absolutely no chance of winning if I'd gone easy on her. This is getting ridiculous.
You are very kind. We've only just met, and yet you're worried about a machine like myself.
Huh? Isn't that normal?
Aga-san laughs at my confusion.
Seeing you smile like that? I don't know. I just can't think of you as a machine. You have a heart, right? Then it doesn't matter whether you're man or machine.
Aga-san stops laughing and thinks deeply for a moment. But after a few seconds, she looks back up at me with a serious look in her eyes.
You have defeated me in single combat. That will make it difficult for me to continue forward. But I believe I can trust you. Will you listen to my mission directive?
I have no reason to say no. I took Aga-san square in the eye. I look at Aga-san square in the eye and nod reassuringly. And so, Aga-san told me about her directive, and it was truly surprising. There was another case involving personas and shadows outside of Inaba, even before our adventure last year. And she is a weapon with a heart, created with the express purpose of wielding a persona to fight the shadows. She believes that this current situation came to be because someone had stolen a similar weapon and caused it to enter the TV world.
So, there's another girl robot with a heart like you, and she's the cause of all this?
We came to this world to retrieve her, my older sister. The 5th generation anti-shadow suppression weapon, Labris, is in this world somewhere.
Nanako, Miss President, her shadow, and now Labris. They have a mountain of tasks to accomplish now. But, even though I have a lot to do, can't ignore any
Tell
of
me
it.
more about Labris, and I'll do what I can to help you get her back.
Unfortunately,
Aga-san's expression clouds. She said that she was a machine, but that she really is no different from a human. As I'm listening to her, I think about what this means in my search for Labris. It's not helpful.
So you don't know what she looks like, what she can do, or what equipment she's loaded with.
Basically, all she can tell me is that Labris is a robot who's built to look like a girl. Wait a second. I did meet a girl I didn't know in the TV world. Miss President! Could Miss President be Labris?
Is there a possibility that she looks, well, more human than you? You mentioned earlier that she was your older sister, so I assume she was built before you, but...
my sister was an older model, a prototype for the 5th generation to be exact. It's doubtful that she would look more human than myself.
Then, there's no way Miss President could be Labris. I could tell at first glance that Aga-san was a machine. Miss President appears to be completely human. Never once considered that she might be an not be human until just now. But that just makes things even more complicated. What in the world is going on inside this TV?
All right. In any case, I'll keep an eye out for her. But right now, I'm heading to the announcement room. If Labrys is the cause of this, then I'm bound to meet up with her eventually.
I shrugged slightly. I don't want to be so grave. Agason must sense that I'm trying to do and smile.
Thank you. I will trust my sister's fate to you.
Of course. I gave Agason a determined nod and run out of the classroom. But man, what a busy Golden Week! I have to make sure Nanako's okay, find Miss President, unmask whoever is masquerading as Teddy, and now search for Labrys somewhere in here. If this wasn't happening, maybe kicking with my friends at the Junes food court. Yukiko seemed to be trying to be coy, but I'm pretty sure that big bundle she was carrying was probably boxed lunches that she'd made. As to how they might taste, well, let's not get sidetracked. I'm sure we'd all have enjoyed them anyway. Eventually, I would have called Nanako over. We would have brought some snacks together. There were things I wanted to buy from the Shiroku store. Maybe I could have made it to this Mosozu Daigaku in time to buy the last of their special croquettes. Gosh dang it, this credit started here. I want to talk to the owner of Daidara and get some books from the Yamanido bookstore. I'd have had a steak bowl at Aya, hung out with the fox at the Tatsumi Shrine, waited for my uncle so we could have dinner. Tomorrow I'd have gone fishing. The one who ruined my vacation and caused all these problems is the same person who stole Labrys? If they've truly brought Nanako back into the TV world?
They're not getting away from me.
As I run on, I come across yet another blue door. Perhaps it's a sign that I need to calm down. True, I may have lost my cool for a moment.
Someone here? Again?
I reach towards the door with a relaxed smile. Margaret is in her usual position. I glance around to see if there's anyone else in here. It looks like her nutcase of a sister isn't here. Margaret notices me looking and sighs, a seductive sound that also conveys annoyance.
It seems my sister has caused you some trouble, though this may mean that I'm not the only one who is drawn to the light of your potential.
There's a hint of tenderness towards her sister in her words. Her sister must be important to her. I can tell from the look on her face. Do I look like that when I talk about Nanako? Margaret pulls herself together and speaks again.
You have gained new resolve by overcoming many doubts and falsehoods.
New resolve? I find myself nodding along.
You have reached the threshold of truth. But man's hearts are mutable. That is why a resolve to continue fighting is more important than any one victory or defeat.
Yeah, I understand.
But this will be a difficult battle without end. Are you equal to the challenge?
The way she puts it makes it seem as if she was testing me. I don't respond immediately and think about the question. It would be lying to say that I'm worried, or that I'm not worried. I know that my heart can be swayed by change. There's no knowing what will happen from moment to moment. But even
If
then,
I have my friends, if I'm not alone, I can do it.
I see.
Margaret nods slightly in
I
response.
have heard your answer, but it's not enough. Remember
Dang it.
what I told you before? The heart is shaken more by a single action than by 1,000 words.
As she smiles, my vision begins to blur. I hear words being repeated. I have reached the threshold of truth. Everything that's happened during the course of this case runs through my mind. New appearance of the TV world. This tournament pinning us against each other. The student council president and a fake Teddy. My encounter with a weapon with a heart. Aigis-san searching for her sister Labrys. And the determination that I've gained through these constant battles. What I must accomplish. How do I show that I've decided through my actions?